I remember the sound of my own keys rattling in the lock that afternoon. 6 weeks after my surgery, I was finally strong enough to come home. The smell of lavender still lingered in the hallway, my scent not theirs. But the moment I stepped in, something felt rearranged. Not just the furniture, the air, the energy. My son, Daniel, and his wife, Lydia, came down the stairs, smiling too wide. "Welcome home, Mom," he said, holding a pile of papers. Lydia added sweetly, "We've been helping you, so we listed the house." At first, I thought I'd misheard. Then I saw the real estate sign leaning outside the window. All my life, I've been the kind of woman who helps. When Daniel couldn't find a job after college, I paid his rent. When Lydia had their first child, I converted my dining room into a nursery. And when I fell ill, they moved in to help me recover. It seemed like love. It wasn't. It was calculation. "Mom, you don't need such a big place anymore," Daniel said, smiling. Like it was a gift, not a robbery. "We thought we'd sell it, downsize you, and handle everything." He tapped the paperwork. "You just have to sign here." I stared at my son, the boy I raised on oatmeal and bedtime prayers. And I realized he wasn't asking. He was informing. They had already contacted an agent. They had already cleared out my office. And worst of all, they had already told the neighbors I was moving. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I just smiled, the same way his wife had smiled at me. "Thank you," I said. "You've both done so much. But before we continue, I'd like you to call the notary. I'll need him to witness my signature." They exchanged a glance, confused but eager. I went upstairs slowly, pretending to look for my reading glasses. Instead, I pulled out the sealed envelope from my bedside drawer, the one my lawyer had prepared before I went into surgery. An hour later, the notary arrived. Daniel sat beside me, pen ready. But when the notary unfolded the document, his expression shifted. "This," he said carefully, "isn't a sales contract." Lydia frowned. "What is it then?" "It's a transfer of ownership," he replied, "of this house to the St. Mark's Foundation for Widows." Their smiles fell. I continued, calm as ever. "I decided before my surgery that this home should belong to women who need it, not to those who see it as a payday." Daniel's voice cracked. "Mom, you can't." "I already did," I said softly. "It was finalized last month." The notary left, the papers signed and sealed. Silence filled the room, a heavy, helpless silence. They had underestimated me, the quiet woman who always said yes. As I watched their faces pale, I realized something. Betrayal doesn't deserve fury. It deserves boundaries. That evening, I brewed my own tea for the first time since surgery. Outside, the real estate sign had been taken down. Lydia didn't come downstairs for dinner. Daniel didn't speak. I didn't need their apologies. Peace was apology enough. Moral of the story: sometimes revenge doesn't come from anger, it comes from clarity. The quietest people often plan the loudest lessons. True justice isn't about destroying others, but protecting your peace. When you stop seeking their approval, you start regaining your power. And sometimes, the sweetest revenge is simply moving on without a sound. Thank you for watching this emotional revenge story. What would you have done in Margaret's place? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more revenge and justice stories on problems in marriage.